We're here at R Plus in Las Vegas, 2025, and we're at the Popular Power booth. Popular Power is an intelligence layer for commercial and industrial level solar sites for everything that goes on with the site once it is operational and up and running to maximize your site performance, meet your production guarantees, and reduce your O&M load. And we're here with our friends at SMG Global. Ryan, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Well, we're an EPC down in Mexico, center of Mexico, so we basically handle Aguas Calientes, anywhere around a five-hour radius. I can do Monterrey, Mexico City, 1 hour. What we do is we do the sites in what would be net metering. The sites are now pretty much going anywhere from 500 to 700 kilowatt in AC. And most of our sites have to do with C&I industrial, commercial industrial. And right now, obviously, the market is in a state of maturation. And so this, the solution that we are constantly looking for is how do we help our customer understand the value of the kind of sites that we've done for them over the years, how much that actually means in money, but mostly how much opportunity they have or miss opportunity that they didn't take advantage of because they didn't do proper maintenance, they didn't really understand what they were doing when the systems were failing, and no one told us. And since there was no maintenance warranty there, we weren't following it actively either. And so obviously the intention of sitting down with you guys here is how can we make this work for our customers where they can appreciate all the added value that such a solution could give them.
Yeah, and it's interesting to say the piece about like maturation of the market. I think that one of the ways we detect market maturity is how sophisticated are the operations and maintenance and follow-up solutions that companies such as yours are providing to their customers. And I know you've talked to me a lot in the past about like you've even kind of adopted like sites, or you've had other customers call you and say like, hey, somebody installed this for me, maybe not even like a year ago, and it's completely broken and I wasted $500,000 and now you're kind of like tasked with fixing it. So what do you think like goes wrong there? Like why are some customers being sold sites that just like don't work when it's an asset that, you know, should work for 10 to 25 years?
I guess there's a human nature aspect where, you know, you always go for, if you don't understand something, your basic criteria is what's cheapest. And so as we go for that kind of thought process, then we're always going to choose, you know, the supplier or the EPC that gave me the best deal. They don't really understand everything that's involved in a generation site, like solar panels. And they just want it to be cheap because they're thinking of it as a cost saving. But over time, and give it enough time, those sites, it's really sad how they're basically left out, dry hanging, whatever you want to say. And then all of a sudden they're trying to find the person who put the site in. They're not responding, they're not getting back to them. Sometimes they even go out of business because it's a very attractive model to sell these sites, install them quickly, and then forget about it. And all that responsibility is thrown onto the final customer.
Yeah. So I think that's where we see like in these more mature markets, and I would consider Mexico to be a market that is starting to mature, where the most competitive companies now are not just selling these like one and done projects. They're not focusing on like cheap projects. They're focusing on quality, and they're promising some sort of like follow-up or some sort of guarantee. Like, you know, I think we see a lot of customers guaranteeing a performance, guaranteeing a production. What do you guys guarantee as part of like your project sales in terms of like the follow-up or some sort of site?
Well, obviously, you're always with the pressure of trying to keep your price competitive.
Yeah.
So,
and it is a competitive industry.
It's a tremendously competitive industry. We have a lot of Chinese brands that are price killing, and they have really good prices. I'm not saying that they don't, but when you look at their model in the post-sale, what is it? What's their philosophy when things go wrong? Most of the time, what you hear is, "Oh, if something fails, I'll replace it." Now, I don't know many industries where a full replacement is a viable model. And what you end up seeing is after a couple of years that gets tested, and then a lot of it is they don't even have that specific product anymore, so they can't replace it. And then it becomes a credit issue and you already use it for a bunch of years. So what you're looking for is these brands that can give you, they're really worried about their reputation. And their model is, you know what, I'm going to train you, I'm going to be able to send like certain circuit boards. If something goes wrong, we're going to work with you on it. But we expect you to help us with that. And obviously, what we want with our client is I need to be able to respond to them quicker.
Yeah.
So sending systems off to get evaluated for full replacement, it's still going to take a couple months.
Okay. So part of your guarantee is you're trusting in very quality hardware too. So
we always look at what brands we're trying to represent, and then we always talk with the customer that if you want the cheapest, you want me to compete against the cheapest, I'm going to have to use these.
Yeah.
And I can do it, but you need to understand what your risk that you're taking on for buying the cheap is going to be.
Right. Got it. So maybe why don't you tell us a little bit about what you and your colleague was talking about in terms of O&M plans, and why a little bit about kind of these snapshots from Popular Powered may be useful to you in your specific context, for example.
Well, I mean,
filter. Tell us, give us your feedback. Tell us
No.
what was useful, what was not useful.
Actually, what we need, and I think that the Popular Power is the solution that we could work with, is that we need to have a solution that analyzes the energy, but most of our clients really aren't sophisticated to understand how the behavior energy works in relationship to what it costs. So there's a level of technical that we need to be able to give them when they ask, but what they're really looking for in the end is translate this into money.
Of course.
Tell me what it means in money that I've saved, because they don't see the savings because they are just not paying anymore. Right. And it's amazing how quickly they forget how much they were paying. Too much, yes. And then, and then the other thing is how underperforming some of these projects are, because they're not really giving that TLC to the site once it's installed. And a couple of years go by and it's really not doing what it should be doing, and they don't want to pay anything because they think it should be free because they already paid for the original system.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, energy is more and more delivered as a service. These solar sites are high value assets that need to be maintained over time. So I think you hit the nail on the head with that. So thanks for joining us here at our mini Popular Chat.
Thank you for your patience.
And thanks, everyone.